of McCain-Feingold fame.
Right.
Folks thought he was really going to be a shoo-in. Wisconsin voters have said no, and essentially...
Well, because he lost to Ron Johnson, so he was out. Now he's trying to come back in, and the voters are saying no.
Exactly, and my point is the polling had Feingold doing really well. This does not bode well for Hillary Clinton in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Again, thinking about when people go into a polling booth or when they're voting absentee ballot, and they're thinking, well, I could just go straight ticket, or I could start going between Republicans and Democrats or doing third parties, write-ins, that sort of thing. I think we're seeing the start of a trend here where Hillary Clinton, as I've been saying, is a drag on Democratic candidates across the country. Chris Koster, I know we're talking 42% of the precincts in for the gubernatorial race. It should not be 58-39 if he's going to have a chance of winning this. There's no way all these precincts are outstate Missouri.
Well, this whole race also seems to, at this point, be flying in the face of a lot of these polls we've been seeing for so long. Here's that results that Dr. Califano was talking about, Jennifer.
Yeah, and the race for Missouri Governor Chris Koster, as he said, 39% to Eric Greitens' 58%. So Eric Greitens ahead with 42% of precincts reporting, and that's a large lead.
It is a large lead, and if this continues, if we get over 50% of the precincts, and we're talking about an 18, 19-point spread, I don't want to say that's impossible to overcome. I don't know which precincts have reported at this point, but I just can't believe that it has been all outstate precincts and counties that have reported, and we don't have anything from St. Louis or Kansas City. And what this suggests is that not enough Democrats in St. Louis were able to deliver the election for Koster and potentially for Kander, because you're seeing a similar spread there between Blunt and Kander on that Senate side. Mm-hmm. This is, again, I can't tell you enough how unprecedented this is, flying in the face of where we were all sort of led to believe the races were going according to the polls.
One race that we're not surprised about, we knew this was going to trend this way, is the 7th Congressional District here in Southwest Missouri. This has been a Republican seat for many, many years. It was for Roy Blunt. It is staying that way for Billy Long. You see the results here. Look at this. We're almost done here. 70% of precincts reporting here in the 7th District Congressional race. Billy Long, 67%. Genevieve Williams with 28%. You heard Billy Long here on our air over on the Z
he hasn't been worried.
He wasn't, his words were, and I quote, "I wasn't worried at all today about my own race."
No, he was pretty confident.
He was indeed. In the race for the White House, we're talking about that. Here are the numbers in Missouri. Missouri has been called by numerous media outlets for Donald Trump. The margin here has stayed the same pretty much all night. In fact, it's grown at this point for Donald Trump with 44% of precincts reporting. He's got 66% to Hillary Clinton's 29%.
And the same holds true for Arkansas. CBS News earlier said that he took Arkansas. So Arkansas and Missouri both going to Donald Trump tonight.
What's interesting, if you look at the spread going back to Missouri between Trump and Clinton, it almost mirrors what you see between Blunt and Kander and Greitens and Koster. So I really do think there's something to this Hillary Clinton being a drag on down-ballot Democrats.
Or do they just want the outsiders? They don't want career politicians is what they're calling.
Right.
Maybe?
Here's the electoral prediction from CBS News. This is flipped now. Donald Trump has 172. Hillary Clinton has 190. I'm watching your Real Clear Politics map here, Dr. Califano, and I just saw they had North Carolina in the red. It's gone back to a toss-up now. So is that what you're seeing?
It has, but it's not tightened to enough significance as far as I can tell that it should be taken out. Nobody after 2000 wants to be caught with egg on their face. And nobody wants to be putting marker boards up like Tim Russert had to do.
Okay, they've got North Carolina back at
they do, and I think the thing of it,
Trump.
Exactly, for Trump, as we said a minute ago. But the reason you saw the bump for Clinton, and now she's up to 202 electoral votes, is, as I've been saying, California gives her a tremendous boost. I mean, if she's going to have a chance at winning this thing, it's going to be California and the voters there that push her over the finish line to win this thing. But again, this could all be coming down to Pennsylvania, and it's still very close. 77% of the precincts, according to Real Clear Politics. She's at 49.3, he's at 47.3. 2 points are separating these two. Traditionally, if a Democrat's going to take Pennsylvania, they started to call suburban Philadelphia Rendelphia after former mayor and governor, very popular Democrat Ed Rendell. And essentially, the suburbs of Philadelphia, Bucks County, Montgomery County, those areas in there tend to vote Democratic when you have a very conservative Republican running for president at the top of that ticket. And the conventional wisdom was, well, you're going to see that tonight. You're going to see the suburban female voters saying we don't like Trump, we don't like what he said about women, that sort of thing, and we're going to go to Clinton. We may not really like Clinton, but we like her better than Trump. If you're looking at this razor-thin margin between Clinton and Trump in Pennsylvania with almost 80% of the precincts in, it's got to be the case that more suburban female voters went for Trump than were expected to do so.
Okay, and we're going to move on back here at home and talk about a race that we're following for leadership here in Missouri, the race for lieutenant governor. This has been one that we've been watching all night. Mike Parson, state senator from Bolivar, with 60% of the vote, to Russ Carnahan with 35%. Mike Parson has held a pretty healthy margin in terms of a lead tonight. We've got 43% of precincts reporting tonight. This race has not been close at any point tonight. We've still got about halfway to go.
Right. Parson is actually from Bolivar, so it seems fitting that he'd be at Smith's Restaurant tonight in Bolivar. That's where we find Lindsey Klein live for us tonight. Lindsey?
Yeah, Jennifer and David, all these people are here supporting State Senator Mike Parson, running for Lieutenant Governor. You just saw the numbers here. Take a look at all the people here supporting Mike Parson. They're cheering, so it's a little loud, but a lot of people really excited for Mike Parson tonight. And he is a former sheriff and a veteran himself, so that's something, of course, that he holds dear in his run for Lieutenant Governor, just doing things for veterans. And this is a seat that's been held by a Republican for a long time, so a lot of pressure for Republicans to keep that seat. And Parson's opponent, of course, is Democrat Russ Carnahan, a former four-term Missouri congressman, the son of a governor and U.S. senator. Again, the numbers: Parson up 60% to Carnahan 35%. That's with 1,331 precincts reporting of the 3,236, and we will be hearing from Parson, we are told, shortly, so we'll check back in a couple minutes, hopefully. Reporting live in Bolivar, Lindsey Klein, Color 10 News, Ozarks First.
All right, Lindsey, thank you. You can find the latest numbers along with all of our election coverage at any time at ozarksfirst.com.
We may be in for a long night ahead, folks, because this race is just getting real close. So stick around. You're watching comprehensive election 2016 coverage here on Color 10.